Hello and welcome to another episode of Shardcast. My name is Aaron Froats as we bring to you the 13th episode of Shardcast. This will be an exhibition match between Flameheart and Errantsquire. Errantsquire was featured in the very first Shardcast we ever brought to you, so it'll be nice to see what he's playing with now as opposed to what he was playing with then. Just to let you know what he is playing with. Errantsquire will be playing with a Wild Sapphire ramp deck in this matchup against Flameheart, who will be playing a mono wild deck. So again, this is an exhibition map between Flameheart and Errantsquire. So let's see if we can't get you to the coin flip here. And it looks like Flameheart won the flip here. And chooses to keep his hand of 7. Errantsquire does keep his hand of 7 as well, as he starts with a Sapphire Shard, Wild Shard, Shards of Fate, Bottle of Vitae, Buccaneer, Pack Raptor, and another Pack Raptor. Flameheart starts off with a Howling Brave, which will give him one additional threshold with the Wild Shard he played on the turn. So we'll pass it over to Errantsquire. Errantsquire draws an Ancestor's Chosen for his first turn, so let's see if he goes with the Pack Raptor or the Chosen. I would imagine he'll go with the Ancestor's Chosen and go ahead and start putting the Spectres in his deck. So Errantsquire does choose the Sapphire Shard and the Chosen. Ancestor Chosen is a 1/1 troop, and at the beginning of your turn, you put 2 copies of Ancestral Spectres in your deck, which are 2/2 flying creatures, for 2 resources, and also allows you to draw a card when they enter play. Flameheart draws for a second turn. He drops another Wild Shard, giving him 2 resources. Plays another Howling Brave, so he has 2 on board now. So this is another version of ramping, because Howling Braves can exhaust to give you 1 temporary resource for the turn. He moves to the attack phase and goes ahead and swings into the Ancestor Chosen, seeing if Errantsquire is willing to trade with him. I imagine he won't. He does not. Some people would trade there just for the fact to try to get the extra resource, or resource origin off the board, I guess you should say, with the Howling Brave, but Errantsquire chooses not to. Start a turn, he draws another Shards of Fate. I imagine he might want to get the Wild Shard out there first, though, to get both the Pack Raptors out, or at least maybe the Bottle of Vitae. Here comes one Pack Raptor. It's a 1/1 troop with Swift Strike. It gets +1/+1 for each additional Pack Raptor out there. So here comes the other Pack Raptor, so both become 2/2s, as there are 2 Pack Raptors on the board. He moves to the attack phase, and then the second main, and passes turn. So Errantsquire now has 2 Shards of Fate, a Bottle of Vitae, and a Buccaneer in hand. Passes over to Flameheart for the start of turn 3. Flameheart draws a card for turn, going up to 5 cards. Exhausts Howling Brave to go to 3 resources. And plays a Chlorophylla, which will gain him 2 Wild Threshold and 2 permanent resources. So he has 0 temporary, 4 permanent now, as well as 6 Wild Threshold. Flameheart will pass on the attack phase and on the second main, which will pass turn back over to Errantsquire. 2 more Spectres go in the deck for a total of 4. He draws a Wild Shard. If Errantsquire decides to use a Shards of Fate or a Wild Shard. Wild Shard comes down in play, give him 3 resources. And move to attack. Errantsquire chooses to attack with both Pack Raptors. Both are 2/2s with Swift Strike. Swift Strike. Meaning their damage would hit their target first before any return damage. No blockers from Flameheart, so 4 damage goes on to Flameheart. Bring him down to 16. Second main phase. Errantsquire drops the Bottle of Vitae and immediately cracks it open. So he will draw a card and get another charge power for his Wyatt the Sapper champion. Picks up another Pack Raptor and passes turn as he's out of resources. Flameheart draws a card for turn. Plays a Wild Root Dancer, which is a 2/2 troop, and if you play resource, it can give a +2/+2 permanent counter to any other troop that you control. It plays a resource afterwards and puts a 2/2 counter on one of the Howling Braves. So it has a 3/3 Howling Brave and a 1/1 Howling Brave. Expensive, high-powered mana dork there. Or resource dork, as we would call it in Hex. Taps the other one, and exhausts both of them, so he has 4 resources again, and puts a Honeycap out there. Honeycap is a 7/7, as Flameheart has 7 Wild Threshold already this early in the game. So that can prove to be a brute. However, we know Errantsquire has a Buccaneer in hand, so you have to imagine he's going to boot that across next turn. And Flameheart passes turn as he's out of resources. 2 more Spectres go on the deck, and Errantsquire draws a Wild Root Dancer of his own. I'd imagine he's going to go Shards of Fate here to go ahead and get the resource for next turn. Although, with Wild Root Dancer goes down first, just because Shards of Fate doesn't give you a temporary resource doesn't mean it's not a resource played. So you can still play it and gain the buff from the Wild Root Dancer, so he'll probably give one of the Pack Raptors a +2/+2. He does, as he chooses a Sapphire Threshold, giving him 4 permanent resources, 2 Wild Threshold, 2 Sapphire Threshold. Gives a +2/+2 buff from the Wild Root Dancer to one of the Pack Raptors. He has a 4/4 Pack Raptor and a 2/2 Pack Raptor. Keep in mind he still has 1 in hand as well. Move to attack phase, and probably will not swing into the Honeycap, I wouldn't imagine. Nope, he does not. And we'll pass turn back over to Flameheart. Flameheart will draw for turn. And play a Spirit Dance, which is a 5-drop basic action that troops you inside your library get a permanent +2/+2 and a cost of -2. And he exhausts both of his Howling Braves to get 2 more resources out there for availability. Attacks with a Honeycap. Now the cool thing about the Hex TCG as opposed to other TCGs such as Magic is those resources will stay in his pool even on to Errantsquire's turn. You don't lose the resources not used. Errantsquire does not block the Honeycap, so he'll take 7 damage on the chin, going down to 13. Life totals are at 16-13. Pass turn over to Errantsquire. 2 more Spectres go in the deck, and he draws another Pack Raptor, so he's got 2 more in hand. So we'll see if he decides to play one of the Pack Raptors. He does. And I wonder if he'll bounce the Honeycap or not. Nope, he's going to play both Pack Raptors. So 4 Pack Raptors on board. He'll probably play the Shards of Fate afterwards, which he does, to get the bonus from the Wild Root Dancer. He goes and grabs a Sapphire Threshold. And now gives one of the Pack Raptor that had not received the buff last time, but is still able to swing this turn. I would imagine. Yep, give him the 2/2 buff. So he now has 2 Pack Raptors who are 6/6 and 2 that are 4/4. Pack Raptor also reads that you can have as many copies of Pack Raptor in your deck as you wish to have. I believe that's how it reads. Actually, when it enters play, you create another copy of it and put it into your deck, or something of that matter. You have to forgive me. I don't quite know how that card reads. I believe you put multiple copies of Pack Raptor in your deck when it enters play. I have to get back to you on that one. Flameheart plays another Honeycap. This time he has 9 Threshold. In case I missed that attack phase there, both Pack Raptors hit from Errantsquire, so that was 12 damage, taking Flameheart down to 4. So this game could be over rather quickly here. Flameheart's got a 9/9 Honeycap, 7/7 Honeycap, a Wild Root Dancer, and 2 Howling Braves against 4 Pack Raptors, a Wild Root Dancer, and an Ancestor Chosen. So we'll see what Flameheart does here. He's swinging with the Honeycap, which will take Errantsquire down to 6. And he thinks he has enough blockers up to take care of at least the Pack Raptors. What he doesn't understand, though, is Errantsquire has a Buccaneer in hand, which means he can bounce one of the troops off the board, leaving Flameheart only 3 blockers for the 4 pack raptors. That would be game if Flameheart doesn't have anything else up his sleeve to play on the second main phase. Again, this is the 13th Shardcast, featuring Errantsquire versus Flameheart, an exhibition match. As Errantsquire chooses to block the honey gap with the 1/1 chosen, so he won't even take the 7 damage. If you wish to have one of your matches casted here on Shardcast and featured, go ahead and send me a line on Twitter. You see my Twitter handle below me there, at Froatsylvania. Ooh, Errantsquire draws another pack raptor, but he won't need that. He's going to bounce the honey cap off the board. He'll play the pack raptor just to give him more damage out there, but it's not necessary. So he has 5 pack raptors on board, and that will be game. They each take a game to each other, and I think Flameheart will probably just concede here. He sure does. And excuse me there. That was a rather quick matchup by 2 ramping decks. You kind of like that kind of play there from both of them, and it looks like that time around, Errantsquire came out on top. So a really, really quick matchup, and kind of a showcase what the pack raptor can actually do for you. As I was saying before the last attack phase there, if you do have a match that you would like featured on Shardcast, send me a line on Twitter or comment on one of the videos below, and I'll see if I can't feature you on a future Shardcast. Again, I apologize. Just make sure if we are going to feature one of your matchups that you don't cover any of your gameplay up with some chat or webcam there. It makes it a little more difficult to crop and to show on the Shardcast. So again, that was our exhibition match between Flameheart and Errantsquire. Errantsquire with a Wild Sapphire ramp deck takes him out. So until next time, I am Froatsylvania. So long. Brace yourself.